I am extremely frugal, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, at this point in our relationship, you should know that by now. If you don't know, you just must not be listening. But I am sure at some point in our relationship, you have asked yourself the question, El Agustin, how did you become so frugal? Well, I have always been frugal, but it wasn't until I read this book, Your Money or Your Life, that I could put into words why I choose to have a relationship with money that is intentional, organized, and strategic, or as I like to say, frugal. This book helped me construct my relationship with money. And in this video, I want to share 18 lessons from this book that constructed my view of money. And the first lesson is take money seriously. So the title of this book is Your Money or Your Life. And the reason the authors titled the book this way is because we often think that we are forced to choose making money over living our lives and have to sacrifice so much in the process. However, the reason that many people are forced to make this decision is because they don't take money seriously. They spend it carelessly and don't manage it correctly. But you can have both money and life if and only if you decide to take money seriously. And taking money seriously starts with understanding the second lesson. Money equals life's energy. Now, most people spend their whole lives making money without understanding what money actually is. But if we spend a quarter of our lives making money, it's extremely important to understand what money is. And money is simply life's energy, meaning that we trade our time and energy for money. Money is simply a representation of time. And so knowing that the third lesson is that money isn't what you're after, freedom is what you're after. Now, although you need to take money seriously, that doesn't mean that your goal should always be to chase money. No, because if all you do is chase money, you'll end up never living your life. But the goal of money is to buy your freedom. The goal of money is to use it as a tool so you can do more of what you want to do in life. So let me clarify that again in the fourth lesson. Money is how you get freedom. Now, this is so simple and obvious, but if you want more freedom in your life, you need money because money allows you to make your decisions more freely. When you have financial security in life, you're able to make your decisions a lot more freely. However, most people don't have that freedom because of the next lesson. Debt is how you lose freedom. Now, money is how you get your freedom, but debt is how you lose your freedom. Because when you have debt, you are forced to do things that you don't want to do in order to pay the people that you owe. And so if you want to become more free in your life, you have to avoid debt at all costs. Now, before I move on to the next point, if you like the book lessons that I am mentioning in this video, I highly recommend that you check out the app Shortform. Shortform is an app that allows you to read or listen to short condensed summaries of your favorite books. They have a catalog of thousands of book guides in a variety of genres like finance, education, and self-improvement. I personally like using Shortform because it helps me decompress what I've read and review the main points of the book, as well as it offers additional exercises that help me reflect on the main points of the book. Whenever I create book review videos like this one, I always reference Shortform because it helps me understand the key takeaways better. And in addition to having a library of thousands of book guides, they continue to add new book guides every week, and subscribers get to vote on which book guides they add next. If you want to get deeper insights on your favorite books as well as discover new books, Shortform is a great app to expand your knowledge. And to get a free trial as well as 20% off your annual subscription, click on the link in my description or go to shortform.com/laugustin. Now let's return to the video. Now the sixth lesson is freedom is having enough. So now that we've established that money is how you get freedom and debt is how you lose freedom, it begs the question, what is freedom? Well, as they explained in this book, freedom is simply having enough. Enough necessities for your survival, enough niceties for your comfort, and enough luxuries so you're beyond survival. When you have the financial security for all of these things, money has given you freedom in life. However, what this means is completely subjective, which brings me to the 7th lesson. You have to define enough. Now, we're all in different life situations with different needs and priorities, and so there's no one-size-fits-all definition of enough. To one person, this is what enough looks like, but to another person, this is what enough looks like. And so it's important to define what enough looks like in your own life, because if you don't define enough, then you'll never have enough. But it's also important to define enough because of this next lesson. Spending beyond enough doesn't improve your life. Now, in the book, the authors talk about something called the fulfillment curve, where as you spend more money and your needs, comforts, and luxuries get satisfied, you get more fulfillment. And the peak of this curve is called enough. But beyond this point, the money you spend no longer fulfills you, and your fulfillment even starts to go down. Spending more money does improve your life, but only up to enough. And that's because in the 9th lesson is clutter is beyond enough. Now, the reason that your fulfillment starts to go down beyond enough is because that's when you start to bring clutter in your life. And clutter is simply things that don't serve you. And clutter makes the fulfillment curve go down because it brings stress, burden, and responsibility into your life. So define enough, because beyond enough is clutter. And the 10th lesson is work isn't free. Alright, so now that we've spoken about the basic philosophy of money, let's now talk about making money. And in this book, the biggest revelation for me is that work isn't free. This sounds like an oxymoron, but although we go to work to make money, work isn't free. We actually spend a lot of money working on things like eating out, commuting, de-stressing, convenience, clothes, and other things. We go to work to make money, but work actually ends up costing us a lot of money, and you need to know how much money you're spending on work because of the 11th lesson. Know your true hourly wage. As I said in the second point, money equals life synergy. And so it's important to understand how much money you are trading for 1 hour of your life energy. And understanding this is very simple. It starts with simply taking your weekly net income, say $1,000 a week, and dividing it by how many hours you work in a week. In this case, $25 an hour. And although that's your hourly wage, that is not how much money you actually make. You need to know something called your true hourly wage, which is your net income minus job-related expenses, then divided by how many hours you work a week. So your true hourly wage is $18.25. Your true hourly wage is how much money that you are trading 1 hour of your life energy for. It's not your normal hourly wage because, as I said, work isn't free. And once you know this number, in the 12th lesson is see how you're using your life energy. So in the book, an exercise that the authors recommend is taking the time to track all of your expenses on a spreadsheet down to the penny. So you're able to see how you're spending your money or how you're spending your life energy. And it's important to do this because it allows you to see the full picture of how you're spending your life energy. But more importantly, in the 13th lesson is ask yourself if every purchase you make is worth the life energy. Now, when you track your life expenses and know where your money is going, you should ask yourself the question with every single purchase you make. Is this item worth the life energy it took to make the money? For example, if your true hourly wage is $15 an hour and you're spending $400 a month on eating out, is eating out worth 3.3 days you worked at your job to make that money? When you ask yourself that question, it puts everything in perspective and naturally you start to become more frugal. And what does it mean to be frugal? Well, the 14th lesson is frugality means enjoying things wisely. Now, many people think that frugality means being cheap, but that is not true. Frugality just means that you are enjoying things wisely. You're just focused on maximizing value. For example, spending $400 a month on eating out might not be a good value, but spending $400 a month on day trips might be a good value. When you're frugal, you're simply focused on maximizing value and enjoying things wisely, but you're also focused on minimizing waste, which brings me to the 15th lesson. Waste is not in the number of possessions, but the failure to enjoy them. So as I just said, frugality is about maximizing value and minimizing waste. And wasteful spending is simply spending money on things that don't serve you. For example, when you spend money on something that isn't bringing you value, that you're not enjoying, that's when you're wasting money. And waste isn't determined by a specific number of possessions, but the failure to enjoy your possessions. And once you cut out all the waste, you start to save money and you realize the next lesson. The surest way to save money is to stop impressing people. The surest way to run into financial problems is try to impress people by getting a nice house, a nice car, or nice clothes. But the surest way to save money is to stop impressing people. And when you stop impressing people, you end up saving so much money. And you have more money to do the next lesson: invest. Now again, money is life's energy, which means that it is connected to your time and your labor. However, it doesn't have to be that way. If you choose to invest in the stock market to grow your money passively, when you start to invest, your money starts to work for you, and your money stops being so connected to your time. And once you know all of these lessons, you understand, and the final lesson is that winning isn't who has the most toys, but who has precisely enough, no excess, and is able to stop playing the game at will. This is my favorite quote from the book. Money is a game that we are all forced to play. But once you're able to stop playing the game at your own free will, that is called financial independence. And you seek frugality to have more financial independence in your life. And those are the 18 lessons from the book Your Money or Your Life that constructed my view of money. And with that, muchas gracias. Que tengan un buen día. Nos vemos, chicos.